Part of the American dream is owning a house, but due to the mortgage crisis, fewer Americans can get a home loan these days. However, there is a new way to get into a house: lease with the option to buy. But if you're not careful, it could cost you big time down the road. Fox News legal analyst and real estate guru Bob Massi joins us from Las Vegas.
Steve.
Wearing his seersucker. You look sharp today, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now I've heard of leasing, for instance, those hotels and office space behind you. I've heard about leasing commercial space, but never a house.
Well, the thing is lease options have been around a long time, but because of the foreclosure crisis, basically because a lot of people don't have the credit to buy, whether you've been foreclosed on or not, a lease with an option to buy means that you rent a home, but you have an expectation that things are going to get better for you, and you love the home so much, Steve, that you want to have the option at some point in the future to buy that home. And that is the concept of a lease option. It's more prevalent now than it has been over the last 15 or 20 years.
And this is good for people who don't qualify for a mortgage these days. They can get into a house, and if they make their payments, they can buy it down the road.
Yes, but here's the thing. When you do a lease option, let's say I wanted to buy your home, Steve, and you have an investment home. I say, okay, you're going to say to me, Bob, I want option money. I want some money given to me so that if you exercise that option, I have it. So you may say, I want $5,000 or $10,000 to exercise that option to buy in 2 years.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. Here's the thing. You want to make sure, if you're the person that's lease option it, that money goes into a third-party escrow, so that if you decide 2 years from now, Bob, Steve, I'm going to buy your home, that money's there. But what if I decide no? What happens to that money? It should be refundable to you. Very important, Steve, that people that do lease options, they have a professional do the agreement and explain the concept of lease option.
Well, okay, so that's what you need to know. How do you figure out the purchase price? Because you got that option in there, too.
Exactly. Most lease options agreement, they're not, a homeowner's not going to agree now because of the way values are. Basically what they say is that when you exercise the option, we will put a value, the fair market value on the home at the time that you exercise that option. And if you have a disagreement, you get a couple of appraisals to make sure that it's a fair market value of that home. Very important.
Absolutely. So you've detailed the importance of making sure that the option money is in a third party's hands. This actually sounds like a fantastic idea for people who just simply cannot get the credit together to get a mortgage these days.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to cover some things on credit in the next 2 or 3 weeks to let people know that really FICO scores are not that difficult to build back up. We're going to show some ways that you could do it to give people the hope that, in fact, you will own again. And lease option is something that's out there as a vehicle to ultimately own a home in the future.
Excellent information. All right. Bob Massi joining us today from Las Vegas. Thank you very much, sir. Always a pleasure.
Seersucker.
Looking sharp.
See you, Steve.
All right.